Hey everyone, this is Blonde Guy Gamer, and welcome to another I Feel Like Playing. This time I feel like playing Tetris Blast, which is actually one of the first Game Boy games I've had and is quite nostalgic for me. And we're playing on the Super Game Boy here, which is actually one of the Game Boy games that has a unique background when you play on the Super Game Boy, so that's pretty cool. So Tetris Blast is a lot like Tetris, but I'm just going to go in the training mode here to show you how it works, and we can just select our speed, So as you can see, the blocks are pretty much just like in Tetris, although you have some blocks that are like only 2 or 3 blocks as opposed to only being 4. The goal here is to make lines just like in Tetris, but there's a gimmick to it that you see the red dots are bombs, and when you make a line, it blows up the bombs, and the bombs have a certain blast radius. So you have to make sure they're all even out in order to clear the entire line. If you make 4 of them, you make a bomb, and when you blow up a bomb, it clears off the screen. And so it's a pretty simple and interesting gimmick for Tetris. And you can't pause and quit out of this mode, so I'm just gonna kill myself here and get to the actual single player modes, which there are 2 of. One is contest, and the other is fight. We'll get into contest first, so we'll just start a new game. And the background changes, which is pretty cool. So you can select between stages 1, 2, or 3, but, might as well just start it off at the first stage if, I don't really see the point of starting from stage 3, but whatever. So yeah, as you can see there, the bombs, since there were only bombs on the far edges, it didn't get the middle block there. So you actually have to prioritize where your bombs are when you blow them up. And you can make more than one bomb, more line, it'll cause a big explosion, and when you have a big bomb like that, it pretty much clear off the screen just like that. Of course, being the first stage, that was pretty simple and easy, and every time you clear a stage, you get a password. So if you do decide to just dolt it down and then quit, you can just come back to the next stage right after. Now, unlike Tetris, the physics involved with this game can be a little weird. And oh yeah, and one thing to mention is that if you make a line with no bombs in it, the counter will show up, but it won't make the explosion because there's no bombs in it. So it's actually a very good way to make large explosions with your bombs in your lines, because if you make more than one, it's always guaranteed that the bombs in your lines will make an explosion. So, and then we'll do some crafty tricks here to get our lines tucked in here. This stuff's pretty simple, obviously, because starting out, yeah, the first few stages are pretty easy. So with that out of the way, what Tetris Blast actually is, it's actually more or less a sequel to a Famicom Tetris game called, let me see here. I got my list up. I am so prepared. It's called Super Tetris 2 and Bombless. Bombless is the Tetris Blast game you see here. So eventually that was, I guess, ported and made a sequel onto the Game Boy here and brought to the States. And as you can see here, I kind of screwed up. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Let's Play if I didn't do any screwing up while recording. But at least it gives you a chance to see how it kind of all works. And yeah, and then sometimes you get blocks that are all bombs, which are good for forming big bombs. And let's see if that will do it. Yep. And as long as you always get over 70, you're guaranteed a high score, though I think the scores are only saved during passwords, so there's no real point of the high scores really. Although the scores does factor in the gameplay here, because as you can see here, every time you use a block, the score will go down by 1. So every time it goes down, it goes closer and closer to 0. And when it gets down to 0, well, that's pretty much game over, or at least you lose the stage. You can, if you do lose a stage, you can just restart any time, which isn't too bad. So you do have an incentive to keep going and keep at it, to not just dilly-dally and just screw around. It's all about clearing the stages as fast as you can, basically. And I do like the music. It's always quite nostalgic for me too. Like I said, this entire game really is pretty much just nostalgic for me, because because I've had this and the original Tetris. Oh, and you can make blocks drop and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and it's always annoying when you have like only a few blocks left to clear out. Like I didn't quite get it all, but when that happens, the game usually throws in an all bomb block to help you make a bomb. Of course, you want to make your bombs close around the center so that in the blast radius it'll get hit. And I don't know why I made a second bomb there. I guess, yeah, let's just make more bombs. Yeah, and also, when you form a big bomb in this game, the score does go up by 1. So that helps out. Oh, and every time you clear 5 stages, you get this. A little celebratory, I can say words, dance with one of the little characters here. Now, these characters that show up for these, you know, little dance numbers, they're actually characters you fight in the fight mode, but we're not going to get into that just yet. We'll get into the fight mode after we clear the contest mode. So in the meantime, just watch this little guy dance around. Ooh. Yeah, and he's actually a character that like eats bombs. Well, you'll see how they play out in fight mode. So, yeah, next stage. So as I was saying, I've had this game along with the original Tetris on Game Boy. The Game Boy was actually my very first pretty much gaming console device, whatever you want to call it. My very earliest gaming memories is me playing Super Mario Land and pretty much just holding right to walk forward and falling into the pit over and over because I was way too young to comprehend what I was even doing at the time. But, you know, eventually I did, you know, actually know how to play the game, and, well, yeah, and now I got some, this is a lovely mess I have here. You have, like, some hanging stuff, and, luckily a bomb will, oh god, that just looks ugly. Yeah, if you don't get the blast radius right in this game, you'll have all sorts of stuff like this where it's like, where it's really uneven and pretty sloppy. Like, you know, even though I've had this game for years, I'm still not the best, I guess. But it's still something I, you know, will still play now and then for fun, you know. That's obviously why I'm doing it, for recording it and playing it here on, talking about it. Okay, let's see if we can just make a bomb. And, let's see, maybe I can make another bomb here. Yeah, that'll work. And then, that way I can, yep, it'll blow up the rest of the blocks. Yeah, insert 69 joke here. Okay, now this one's pretty cool. See, if you can make blocks fuck, make blocks fuck. Wow, I'm so good at saying words today when post-commentating this LP, aren't I? When you make blocks fall and cause a chain reaction, that's always pretty satisfying. That's what I was trying to say, and I didn't quite get them all there. But yeah, other than what I basically just explained, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's basically just Tetris with a pretty interesting twist on it. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say, other than commentate on my somewhat good playing of this game. Because, you know, while I am competent and I know what to do in this game, there will be times when I screw up a lot. And, yeah, and when you get more than one line going, if you get several bombs going into a chain reaction, it's always good too. That way you can get, you know, as much cleared off as you can. And let's see if that will. Of course not. There's always like one or two little blocks left that I haven't quite get. And the best way to try and clear off the board when there's only a little bit left is just make a bomb in the middle, and then try not to make too many high stacks of anything. Otherwise, the blast radius, you know, won't reach it. And oh, this is interesting. If I had a piece that... yeah, I guess I could just do that, I guess. Oh. Now, you see there when I was like trying to make the piece turn when it was touching something? Yeah, unlike some other versions of Tetris, you can't turn the piece while it's touching something. That can be pretty annoying, especially when the game speed gets very fast, because it becomes very difficult to move your pieces around some blocks and things like that. And got quite a few bombs here, and oh jeez, hopefully this will do it. There we go. That was nice. But yeah, like I obviously don't have much of a problem here because it's the early stages, but later on, let's just say that I've had quite a few mistakes happen because I'm used to newer versions of Tetris or other versions of Tetris where you're allowed to have more flexibility in moving your pieces. This one's a bit more stiff in comparison because you can't quite move your pieces as fluently as other, you know, Tetris games. Because, like I said, if you get pieces touching others, they'll get all stuck and they won't move and things like that. Okay, that was nice, but let's see if I can... not sure what I'm doing here. Okay, I guess I can make 2 here and then... There we go. That was good. And we just cleared another 5 stages, so we get another little dance. This time with another character. And every 5 stages you basically get another little guy dancing, saying good job, or in this case, very good. Don't really have anything to say other than, you know, just listen to the little ditty here. Okay, and then next part we're going to get to the rest of the stages, so stay tuned.